If you want free Call of Duty points, click the link down in the description, install the app, and start earning yourself some free Call of Duty points today. Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin, and welcome back to another Call of Duty Infinite Warfare video. Now in today's video, we're going to be talking about combat rigs. Everyone knows I like to talk about the kill streaks. I've talked about quite a bit. Class setups, obviously I'm talking about every single day on the channel. They're the most important thing to Call of Duty. And this video is going to be solely about the combat rig, which is essentially the specialist of Infinite Warfare. Specialist was what it was called in Black Ops 3. Now they're basically called combat rigs, payloads, traits in Infinite Warfare. We're going to be covering every single one about them. I'm going to talk about the best ones in my opinion. Now it's really hard to come down to an exact best one, but there's two that in my opinion are the best by far, and we're just going to be going through and covering all of them. Then I'll tell you guys which ones I actually think are the best. So if you guys could drop a like on this video, I'd really appreciate it. 2,000 likes would be the goal. That'd be absolutely awesome. If you guys could leave a like on this video, that'd be amazing. Also subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. I really appreciate all the new subscribers and all that sort of stuff. And let's get right into it. So first of all, I'll explain basically how these work. So out of the combat rig, you have 6 combat rigs. What a combat rig is essentially the character, or whatever you want to call it. So you have the Merc, who is sort of like a heavy sort of guy. That's what they call him, like an LMG sort of guy, defensive sort of guy. That's the Merc. We have the FTL, which is more of an assassin sort of playstyle. At least this is how they design them. I don't know if they necessarily play to this. We'll talk about that more. We have the Striker, which is a tactical support. The Warfighter, which is your mid-range assault, your normal sort of assault guy. Phantom, which is a marksman, and Synaptic, which is made for close quarters sort of rushing. Now, this is what they designed them for. I don't think that their traits and payloads really play to that all the time. But we'll talk about that here today. So basically how it works is the combat rig is your guy, right? So you pick one of these 6 guys, and then you pick the payload, which is essentially your specialist. That's the one that with the bar at the bottom that gets to load up. And then you also pick a trait, and each one has 3 payloads and 3 traits to pick from. A trait is essentially just another perk. That's basically what the trait is, just another perk. I love perks. I love attachments. I'm all for giving people as many as you can. So let's go through all these specialists and talk about them, and then at the end I'll tell you guys which ones are my favorite and which ones I think are the best. So the first one we have here is obviously the Merc. Now this is the guy, you see me use him a lot. He's essentially made for LMGs. Now as far as his payloads, he has 3 of them. The Steel Dragon. The Steel Dragon is basically a heavy beam. It's sort of like the Purifier from Black Ops 3, except more like futuristic electrified. Steel Beam really isn't that good. It only works up close, and it's not the best. If you're going to use a payload weapon, it's really not worth it. Steel Beam, or the Steel Dragon, I really don't like that much. The Bull Charge is where you pull out the riot shield, you charge through people. It can be fun to use, but it's just not that powerful. And the third one is going to be Reactive Armor. I think this is one of the best in the game, one of the best payloads in the game. Reactive Armor is essentially kinetic armor from Black Ops 3, except it's even stronger in this game. You earn it so much faster in this game, so you get that specialist activated faster. Basically, it's harder for the enemies to see when you have it popped. Obviously, when kinetic armor popped in Black Ops 3, your whole character started glowing up and stuff like that. In this game, it's very minimal. I think you flash a tiny little bit, and when they shoot at you, they get a hit marker showing that like you have it on. But for the most part, noobs don't really pay attention to that, and you can basically outplay with so many people with kinetic armor, or reactive armor as it's called. Now, as far as the traits with this one has some of the best traits in the game. You have Infusion, which regens health faster. I'm a big fan of that. You have Man at Arms, which you'll see me talk about a lot, and I'm going to talk about a lot during this video. Basically allows you to carry heavy weapons or assault rifles, LMGs, and you move at full speed even with the heaviest weapons. And it also lets you start out with max ammo, which is essentially Bandolier from Call of Duty 4. Then you have Shockwave, which press a button in midair to activate a devastating slam. Now, this specialist, in my opinion, is one of the best. I'm going to talk about the ones that I think that are the best. This Merc Specialist is one of the best, and the reason why I say that is because this one and the Warfighter are my favorite, and I'll explain about the Warfighter, what I like about him real quick. The Warfighter essentially is your assault sort of guy. He has Claw, Overdrive, and Combat Focus, which are all very good payloads. The best one is going to be the Claw. The Claw is the rapid-fire weapon. You guys see me use it in a bunch of my gameplays. You literally whip that thing out, and it just destroys people. It's the most overpowered by far. The Claw is the most overpowered payload in the game by far. There's no point in using any other specialist weapon. There's no point in using things like the Equalizer. There's no point in using things like the Steel Dragon when you have the Claw. The Claw is absolutely deadly, rips people apart, and is the best specialist in the game. Now, the best payload for getting kills. Combat focus also very good, gain double streak points. Combat focus with hardline paired is just absolutely crazy good. And let's essentially talk about, I'm going to give you guys 3 combos of things right now, and I'm going to talk about when you should use them and when they can possibly be the best. You know, the first one I'm going to give you guys is this. It's going to be when the enemies don't have Ghost on, and you're running Scavenger on your class, you're going to want to run the Warfighter with the Claw and Ping. Essentially what Ping is, I told you guys what the Claw is, what Ping is when you shoot someone and you get a kill or an assist, the spot where they died at will ping on the minimap, which will basically give you a radar scan on the minimap, show you all the enemies near that place, and it's absolutely good. The only bad thing about Ping is that Ghost counters it. That's why I don't like using this when a lot of the enemies have Ghost. The good thing about this game is you can actually switch your combat rig in the middle of the game. So say you start out with Ping and you expect to do well, and then you see everyone has Ghost, you can just switch over to the other payload, which I think that combo is one you'll see me use a lot. And the other combo I use a lot is going to be the Merc with the Reactive Armor and with the Man-at-Arms. I love that one because it increases my movement speed. It starts me out with max ammo, which basically means I don't have to run Scavenger unless I'm going for a nuke. And that's essentially what is so good about these things. I customize my class loadout to go with my combat rig. I think these 2 combos are the best in the game. If I'm running Scavenger, I'll throw on the Claw and the Ping. If I don't want to run Scavenger and I want to use some other slots for my class setup, maybe just run Hardline and run some more perks in the first perk slot, I'll use Man-at-Arms with the Merc and Reactive Armor. Those are basically my 2 favorites. I'll give you guys some other combos that I like. Another combo that I like is with the Synaptic guy, which is essentially the rushing guy. The Equalizer, it isn't really the best, but the one I would definitely recommend running on him is either the Equalizer or the Rewind. The Rewind is essentially glitch. The Equalizer is you pull out those dual weapons that shoot fast and they sound like the VTOL warship. The good thing about the Synaptic guy is basically he has 2 good payloads and he has 2 good traits. The Equalizer and the Rewind are very good payloads, and the 2 good traits he has are Propulsion, which is basically press a button to quickly dash in any horizontal direction. That literally, Propulsion, is really fun to use because it kind of turns your movement system into an advanced warfare movement system. You can boost forward, boost to the side, and you can completely outplay enemies if you're confident in your ability to use the movement. It's really good because people don't expect it. People, when you boost to the side in the middle of a gunfight, they're like, how the hell did he do that? When essentially it's just by having that trait, Propulsion, and it's not even a payload. You have this the whole game. It resets probably every 6 seconds. You know, you get to do a dash. It's absolutely overpowered. It's super fun to do. The other thing is going to be Combat Burst, which essentially is after every time you get a kill, you get a boost of movement speed. Now, the annoying thing about this is that your screen glows blue, like light blue flashing lights every time you get a kill, which is so annoying. They really need to tone that down because that really turns me off of the Specialist. But what's so good about that is because when you get a kill, you get that advanced movement. You can dip out of their spawn, dip deeper into their spawn, whatever you want to do. That's why I like it. Those 3 are definitely my favorite ones as far as the payloads go. The other payloads just aren't as strong as those 3 in my opinion. For example, the Phantom one, he does have some good stuff like active camo, but he's made more for a sniper sort of a setup. That's basically what he was made for, and I think he does play to that traditionally. Same with the Striker guy. He's more of a support sort of guy. I don't really rock with him. His main thing is dealing with equipment people, and that's why I don't really use him that much. As far as the FTL, that Specialist is pretty good. I like that one because he has the phase shift, which essentially takes you to another dimension, which can get you out of really tough situations. He also has the FTL jump, which is really good for outplaying people. And as far as basically his traits, they aren't the best. That's basically why I don't use him as much. His traits aren't the best, except for power slide when you're going for slide kills. Now, like I said, the best. I gave you guys basically a lowdown of what I think about every single combat rig in the game. In my opinion, the best ones to stick to are the Warfighter with the Ping and with the Claw. You can never go wrong with that one, especially, you know, if the enemies aren't running Ghosts. If they are running Ghosts, and I definitely recommend switching over to the Reactive Armor with the Merc, and then, of course, you can either run Man-at-Arms or Infusion, which gives you fast regen. Those 2, I can't really narrow it down to which one is essentially the best in the game. It all depends on what you're trying to do. I basically play those two 50-50. If I'm in a lobby with a bunch of noobs, none of them have Ghost, I'll throw on the Warfighter, and the ping is ridiculous. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it gets nerfed, because when you do shoot someone and when you get that kill or even an assist, the ping literally on these small maps, the ping is so big, and that's what makes it so powerful, is because the maps are so small. The area that it pings is absolutely huge, but a lot of the times I do get, you know, misled by this because it pings off. I say, oh, it's safe, there's no one there. I run around a corner, there's a Ghost silencer kid in the corner with a shotgun, and that screws me over. So those two are the best in my opinion, but a bunch of them are really fun to use, and obviously the game is just coming out. It's been out for a week. Those are the ones I'm rocking with. Let me know your favorites down in the comment section down below. Obviously, people that play differently, if you're a sniper, you're going to like different ones than I do. If you're a tactical support sort of guy, you're going to like different ones than I do. These are just the ones that I think are the best for if you want to improve at the game, if you want to do better at the game, and strive to be your best as far as getting wins on the board, getting your KD ratio up, getting your score per minute up. Those are, in my opinion, the best two combos to stick with, the best combat rigs. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe for a cookie and don't lookie. And drop a like on this thing. 2,000 likes would be awesome. If you guys made it to the end of the video, comment the number 2 down in the comment section down below. I don't know why, but just comment that if you made it to the end of the video so I know you guys made it to the end. Drop a like, subscribe for a cookie and don't licky, and I'm out. Peace.